If you're ready to take the journey to homeownership, call me.
Hey, welcome back to this week's Scenario Desk. It's Arlesia, the mortgage lady, and we're going to talk about a scenario that we're currently doing and getting ready to close this week. So I have an investor who is purchasing some real estate, or actually refinancing real estate in Ohio. They currently own 3 properties, and we are going to refinance those homes into what we call a portfolio loan, where we're going to take those 3 properties that are free and clear currently because they purchased those homes in cash, refinance them into one loan, all 3 properties, and they are going to take the cash from those properties to invest in additional real estate. So last week we talked a little bit about homeowners who currently own real estate and are investing into the market by taking out HELOCs, home equity line of credits, to either build real estate with ground up construction and or purchase additional real estate. We know that individuals who bought any time in the last 5 years or so have a massive amount of equity in their home with super low interest rates, and some people do not want to sell. And so those individuals are taking out what we call HELOCs to invest in real estate. I mention that again this week because it's super important that you understand that people are still buying and selling real estate in today's market, regardless of what we see on Instagram and TikTok. It's super important that we research as individuals and make ourselves savvy buyers so that we can understand the ebbs and flows of the market as well as the market that we're currently in. Now, this individual, my investor client, lives in one state and owns property in a different state. And so the state he owns the properties are in Ohio, as I previously mentioned. And he paid for those homes in cash about 6 months ago. During that 6-month time, he has gained about $20,000 to $30,000 in equity on each property. So just so to make sure you're following where we are, right? He purchased these properties in all cash, and typically investors will do that. They want to be competitive in their offer, and so they will submit an all cash offer, knowing that once they've settled into that property, found their tenants, getting some return on it, they will then refinance to take the cash back in order to purchase additional real estate. And that's exactly what this client is doing. So he purchased these properties all cash. Again, most likely the scenario was he wanted to be super competitive with his offer. And now we're taking that cash that he has, and we're going to purchase additional properties as well. This here is something that most savvy investors understand and know to do. They do this cycle of buying with cash, refinancing, taking that cash, buying additional property, and they do it over and over again. The cash just gives them leverage in a competitive market. And if we know about Cleveland, Ohio, the price point isn't really high, and it can be very competitive for individuals who are buying in that area. The good thing about that area is the rent is super high compared to what individuals are spending on real estate. So for instance, someone may purchase a home for $60,000. A mortgage on that would be just a couple $100 a month. And the rent for that property may be $1,700, $1,800 a month on it. So the rent ratio to the mortgage payment, and if there is no mortgage payment, is very, very high, which is really good for an investor. Now, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about and focus on the fact that individuals are buying and selling real estate in this market, how you can leverage financing to allow you to buy and sell real estate, and avenues that you may not necessarily have realized is an avenue for you to take to buy and sell real estate. Again, look at your market, right? This individual lives in one state, the state of Georgia, and they're buying real estate in Cleveland, Ohio. You may be in a similar situation where you live someplace where you say, you know what, it's a little competitive here for me, but I understand that other markets have price points that work with my budget, and I want to buy a property there. Just today, as I'm recording this video, a little bit earlier today, I had an individual who reached out to me again for a HELOC where they are looking to get some money out of their primary home in order to buy additional real estate. And so this is what people are doing, right? They understand that their rate is super low. This individual has a 3.25 interest rate, mortgage payment is $775 a month. They want to, at some point, rent that property out. They don't plan on selling it as well. And they just want to keep their low interest rate, keep their mortgage payment super low, take out some equity, and sometime down the line, rent that property out. That individual who called me today, they live in South Florida. So if you know anything about the South Florida market, you understand that rent is ridiculously high, okay, for lack of better words. And so, a 3-bedroom house may cost $2,000, $3,000 a month minimum for rent. And they're going to make a killing renting that place out. As you navigate the real estate market and wanting to get your foot a little bit more wet than just owning a home, and you get past that step of, getting your initial purchase out of the way, and you want to use that property like investors do to leverage building wealth for yourself and your family, don't forget about these tools and these scenarios that I'm mentioning to you that you can utilize yourself in order to purchase real estate. So thanks for tuning in this week, and I'll see you guys next week.